Hello everyone. In the previous unit, we have studied the second unit wherein we have studied the appointment of an auditor, we have studied audit tick mark, audit markings, and so on. Today we'll be dealing with the third and the fourth unit. So I'll be combining the third and the fourth unit because the third unit is in case of vouching and audit of financial statements, and fourth unit is in case of audit of financial statements. So I'll just combine these two units and let's study the third and fourth unit. So what do we mean by a voucher? Before we study what is vouching, let's determine as to what is the meaning of a voucher. Voucher is nothing but a written or printed piece of a documentary evidence. It proves that the entries made in the books of accounts are real and genuine. Now, what do we mean by a voucher? It's a document, it is an evidence, okay? It is a printed evidence which is nothing but an invoice which proves that these entries are made in the books of accounts and they are real and genuine. So vouchers can be sales voucher, purchase voucher, bank statement, minutes book, cash memo, bills pay, bank payable slip, etc. Okay. Now what is vouching? Vouching is a process of analyzing vouchers of the business enterprises. Now we know what is a voucher. That is the invoices of the company, of the enterprise, are being analyzed, are being checked by the auditor. Okay, and then he checks whether these vouchers, whatever vouchers are there, are they have been made correct entries or not in the books of accounts, are they really existing or not, or are there any fake entries being made in names, fake entries being made. To check the fake entries, here the voucher plays a very important role. So the auditor goes through the voucher, he checks through the voucher and sees whether really there is a purchase or sales being made or not. That is, he checks through the invoices and determines whether the entry made is real or not. So voucher is a process of analyzing vouchers of the business enterprise. Vouching is done with an aim of checking the accuracy and reliability of the transactions entered in the company's books of accounts. So as I said, vouchers are being used to check whether the transaction is reliable or not, is accurate enough or not, is there really purchase being made or not. So this will be checked with the help of a voucher. What is the difference between auditing and investigation? Now, what do we mean by auditing? It is a process of inspecting the books of accounts of an entity and reporting it on it. It is called as auditing. That is, you check the books of accounts and then report those books of accounts with the help of an audit report. Okay. Next, what is investigation? An inquiry conducted for establishing a specific fact or truth is known as investigation. You investigate certain things. Why we investigate? So that we get to know what is the truth behind it. Okay, investigation is done to know what exactly is the truth behind it. So that is nothing but investigation. Auditing is wherein you are inspecting, and then what you inspect, you inspect the books of accounts and make a report on the books what you have checked. Next, the nature of auditing is generally examination, whereas investigation is you go critical and in-depth examination has been done. Next, auditing, here the evidence are persuasive in nature. They are persuasive in nature, whereas the evidence are unquestionable. Therefore, its nature is decisive. Okay, so here in auditing, you know, that is, there are evidence, you check those evidence, and then after checking the evidence you make a report onto those evidence. Whereas here in investigation, these evidence are unquestionable. That is, you're suspecting, you're finding any problem, and that's how you check in depth. You check critically, you go through different aspects, examine them, and then answer those questions. Therefore, it's the nature is decisive. Okay. Next, now who performs the audit work? It is the chartered accountant who performs the audit work, whereas in case of investigation, it is the experts who make investigation. Next, time here, what time you make auditing being done is, it is done annually. Now you have there, it depends on what kind of audit you are. If it is continuous audit, then you have audit being done on a regular basis. Okay, if it is interim audit, then it is done twice a year, but here most of the time auditing is done annually, whereas in case of investigation is done as per the requirement. When there is a requirement for any investigation, then in that case you have investigation being done. Now, reporting, the auditing books, that is the statements of books of, whatever financial statements are there, those statements are being checked, and then based on these statements there is reporting being done in terms of audit report, or in it has also been, these audit reports are also been whatever auditing is being done is for general purpose, whereas one in case of investigation, it is basically been done for a confidential purpose. That is, you have investigation being done for a specific purpose, for a confidential purpose, whereas auditing is being done for generally maybe it may be for investigators, or it may be for shareholders. Auditing may be done for maybe for shareholders or for management. Okay, so the purpose behind auditing is general, whereas when it comes to investigation, there is something confidential, and that's how you have the reporting is being done only to the specific people who want that particular investigation. Next, appointment. Now, an auditor is appointed by the shareholders of the company. Okay, we have studied this in case of appointment of an auditor. Who appoints the auditor? Maybe in terms of the shareholders, or maybe in terms of the board of directors, or maybe in terms of the central government. So appointment of an auditor is being done by the specific people, that is maybe in terms of shareholders, or in terms of government, central government, or in terms of board of directors. But when it comes to investigation, the management or shareholders can appoint the investigator. Now, this is what we have studied till now. That is, what do we mean by a voucher. We have studied regarding what is vouching, and also auditing, and difference between auditing and investigation. Now we'll be dealing with vouching of wages and salary. Now, what I have taken from the third and fourth unit is whatever is being constantly been asked in the exam, those points are being discussed, because we have already studied these units before the lockdown. So what is vouching of cash and salaries? Now, the auditor should examine the payments made for wages and salary and show in the cash book by reference to payroll, summary, or wages sheet, or salary register. Now here, if the auditor has to examine the wages and salary, okay, what is the amount of wages being paid, what is the amount of salary being paid, then in that case he must check through the cash book, okay, or he must check through the payroll, the summary sheet, wage summary sheet, or the salary register. He must check through all these through the wage sheet, or through the salary register, and get to know what is the amount of salary being paid or wages being paid to the workers. Next, ensure the rate of amount of wages and salary in accordance with legal or contractual requirement. Now, you have wages being paid salary is being paid even on contractual basis. You have employees or workers being working for a specific period of time, so wages and salary are also being paid up till the amount of contract. After the contract ends up, then there will be no salary being paid or no wages being paid. So the auditor must ensure to what aspect, I mean, to what extent they have the contract being done, okay, or any legal aspect being done. Then in that case the auditor has to check what is the amount of to what extent have the contract been done, okay. Only till that particular period of time wages and salary must be paid. Next, ensure other deductions such as recovery of housing loan with reference to relevant register. Now sometimes you, in the salary also or in the wages also, there are certain deductions being done, okay, maybe in terms of housing loan, or maybe in terms of provident fund, or maybe in terms of insurance, okay, where the employee pays his insurance or housing loan from the salary, okay. So in that case, while making the payment of salary or wages, the auditor must examine if there are any deductions being done in case of housing or insurance, or any other such deductions. Are those deductions being made or not? Are they relevant or not? That must be checked by the auditor. Next, perform routine checks to verify the arithmetical accuracy of the payroll. Now, it is a human tendency where you have uh, mistakes being done. So if there is any arithmetic accuracy while doing payroll, while making the payment of salary or wages, then in that case it is the duty of the auditor to have a routine check being done. Whether if there is any arithmetical accuracy, then this must be informed to the authority. Next, compare the signatures of a sample of employees indicating acknowledgement of receipts of wages for 2 or more months. If payments may have been made to a representative of worker, the auditor should examine authority letters. Now what does this mean? Suppose if there is when you have those wages or salary being paid, okay, so the employee acknowledges that he has received that particular amount of wage, or he has received the if the worker has received the wage, then he acknowledges into the payroll saying that he has received it by signing it. Suppose if it is salary, then the employees acknowledge that particular amount by saying that by signing it into the salary register. So the auditor must compare at least 2 or 3 months prior, or more than that also, to know whether really the amount paid, is it accurate enough or not, is the same person getting or not, and how will he get to know whether the same person is receiving it or not? Through the help of the signature of the employees or worker. So he must check whether the salary is matching or not with the same specific name, respective names, okay. Even if the representative of a worker is taking that particular salary or wages, then in that case he must examine it through the authority letter. Next, ensure that no dummy workers are included in the payroll summary. The auditor should check the names of some of the workers as mentioned in the summary with job cards. Now, suppose if there are any dummy workers, or the auditor, while checking the payroll, or even in case of salary register, he must check if there are any dummy workers, okay. Then if there are any dummy workers, then he must report it to the higher ups. but he should check that if there are any dummy workers. Okay, and how will he check this? With the help of a job card, that is with the summary of the job what they have given. Okay, now if X is a employee of a company, then in that case, how will the auditor check whether really X is the employee of that particular company or not? With the help of the appointment letter, or with the help of the joining letter. With these details, he can check whether really that particular Mr. X is working into that particular company or not. Okay, that's it. Thank you.